1, Channel 2, Channel 1, Channel 2, Channel 1, Channel 2,
Hello and welcome to Andersen Sports Live. I'm Chase Thompson.
And I'm Gabriel Vegas. This past weekend, the 82nd Masters Tournament was held at Augusta Golf Club in Augusta, Georgia. The pursuit of the green jacket lived up to the hype, with Patrick Reed battling back after a tough first round to take a 3-shot lead into the final round, with Rory McIlroy hot on his heels. Chase, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm reading all of that off the prompter. Golf is not really my specialty. But you work at a golf course, so how about you do the highlights?
I'm more than happy to do that, Gabe. Let's get to the 82nd Masters Tournament at Augusta Golf Club. Beautiful Sunday, beautiful ripe scoring conditions. Let's take a look. Patrick Reed going after his first career major win in the Masters. Masters is not an uncommon tournament for guys to win their first one. We saw it last year with Sergio Garcia. Patrick Reed, left side of the fair, left side in the left rough. Looking for a dart. He's been known to throw those in the past. He actually went to school right down the road at Augusta State. First went to Georgia, then went to Augusta State. Off the back ridge and trying to pin it close. Ball rolls within 3 feet of the hole. He'll walk up and tap that in for birdie. Patrick Reed holding the lead by 4 strokes going into the day. He's going to continue that. Here's Jordan Spieth on the par 3 12 down -10. Chips it in, drains it to go 11 under on the rounds, 11 under in the tournament, and keeping Patrick Reed on his toes. Now Spieth, long putt. He's known to make these. Puts it in, and he's going to drain it, and he's going to give his caddy a lot of dabs for that one. His caddy read that. He read his lips. He said thank you to his caddy. Here's Patrick Reed looking for the birdie and drains it. Patrick Reed solidifying his lead at the 82nd Masters Tournament. Here's Ricky Fowler on the 18th. Ricky needing to get close to keep within 1 stroke of Patrick Reed. Throws a dart and lands it within 15 feet of the hole. Ricky Fowler, who's never won a major, he's won a tournament at TPC Sawgrass before, never has won a major himself. Ricky Fowler makes the putt, keeps Patrick Reed. Patrick Reed will have to make this next putt if he wants to stay in. Ricky Fowler celebrating, enjoying what has been a great final round for him at Augusta. Here's Patrick Reed putting, drains it. Patrick Reed, my goodness, he had a heck of a final round at Augusta. Shaking hands with this caddy. Here's Patrick Reed. Needs to make this putt to win the Masters, and that's what he does. Patrick Reed cards a par on the final hole to win his first major tournament. Shaking hands with his brother-in-law caddy and just celebrating along. Patrick Reed, congrats to him. Taking home his first green jacket in the 82nd Masters after not even making the cut in last year's tournament. Let's take Patrick Reed shaking hands along with his wife. You gotta love that. Now here's Patrick Reed. Patrick Reed shaking hands with the fans. And here's Patrick Reed getting ready.
To win your first majors is never going to be easy. And it definitely wasn't easy today. I mean, I knew it was going to be a dogfight, and it's just a way of God basically saying that let's see if you have it. Everyone knows you have it physically, with the talent, but do you have it mentally? Can you handle those ups and downs throughout the round?
And here's the final leaderboard. Ricky Fowler put the pressure on Patrick Reed, finishing 1 shot back in the tournament. Notables on the leaderboard include final round leader Jordan Spieth, who finished at 3rd at 13 under, and Tony Finau playing on a dislocated ankle from the par 3 contest back on Wednesday, tied for 10th at 7 under. Tiger Woods, in his first Masters since 2015, finished tied for 32nd at 1 over. Defending Masters champion Sergio Garcia missed the cut after a really rough Thursday.
Chase, now we'll move to some news I don't even know we can call sports related. UFC superstar Conor McGregor threw a hand truck at a bus that carried other UFC fighters Thursday afternoon at Barclays Center in New York City. We're going to take a look at the video. He showed up on court Friday morning and stood silently as the judge charged him with 3 counts of assault and 1 count of criminal mischief. The judge also ordered McGregor to stay away from Michael Chiesa and Ray Borg. Here we see him throwing the hand truck there. And the UFC fighters that were at the bus, Michael Chiesa and Ray Borg. Dana White, the UFC commissioner, had his say about McGregor's action after we see that video. Here we look again, throw in the...
But you want to grab 30 friends and come down here and do what you did today? It's disgusting. And I don't think anybody is going to be, huge Conor McGregor fans after this. Do you want to be in business with Conor McGregor right now? Do you want to chase this guy around for interviews and buy his fights? Do you? Yeah. No, I don't think anybody is going to want to right now.
After all that action, we need to slow it down for the people that allow us to make this happen. So stay with us for some NBA action after the break. You're watching Andersen Sports Live.
Historic Haymarket, a beautiful place just west of downtown Lincoln, home of the exciting Pinnacle Bank Arena and a rich history. The Haymarket's history starts shortly after Lincoln's founding, when Lincoln was a busy hub for trains filled with traders and merchants. But now, Lincoln has a new rail yard that's filled with people looking for food, drinks, or fun. The Haymarket is loaded with restaurants and fun for everyone. What are you waiting for? Go visit lincolnhaymarket.org/events to find out what's happening today.
East Campus is for students who want an education outside of the classroom. We have art, agriculture, fashion, food science, law, dentistry, and a lot of trees, all of which are housed just on the corner of 33rd and Holdridge. Grab an ice cream cone at our dairy store or take a stroll through our gardens while you're here. Want to make it legit? Visit us at casnr.unl.edu to reserve a tour soon.
A lot of high school students would ask, why should I go to UNL? Well, why did Johnny Carson, the Tonight Show fan, go to UNL? Why did multi-billionaire businessman Warren Buffett go to UNL? Why did people of such great fame and success go to UNL? Simple, because these are people that wanted to be successful. At the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, you too can begin your own success story. After all, if people like this can achieve national recognition and who came from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, then so can...
The NBA regular season is in its most exciting part of the year, with several spots still open for the playoffs. That started on Saturday. Gabe, we've had some good games over this weekend, didn't we?
Oh, absolutely, Chase. The regular season ends this Wednesday, and I couldn't be more excited for the playoffs. Let's take a look at some highlights from what we thought were the 3 best games of the weekend. We're going to start off with OKC at Houston. That was a much more important game for the Thunder than for the Rockets. You know, OKC was in 7th place, still in 7th place in the West, and the Rockets are guaranteed on the first seed with the man, James Harden, who's my MVP. I don't know about you, Chase, but he's my MVP for sure. And let's see him in the first action. We pick it up with 2:40 in the first half, and look at that. Oh, my. That's just Harden. That's just MVP quality play there. And then Russell Westbrook with the layup to answer back for OKC. They lead at 43-37 at this point. We're going to pick it up again in the second quarter with 4:45 left, and it's going to be James Harden with the triple. Now let's see if it's going to be enough to beat OKC, who are just crazy going at this game because they need the win desperately. And it's going to be Chris Paul with 30 seconds left and a 4-point play. Chris Paul, what a guy. What a good play there. And this is James Harden again. Houston down 4. Harden over Paul George with the step back 3. It's in, of course. It's in for James Harden. Harden, he had 26 points in this game. You're going to see Westbrook picking up and a good layup there to put the OKC up by 10. OKC's going to win it 108-102.
Gabe, Houston's the 1 seed right now in the West. You know who's 2 seed? Golden State, and that's where we get to. Anthony Davis gets the rebound from Hill and slams it home. Pelicans up 5 at the end of the first half. Let's go later in the game. Great pass by KD, open 3, got it. Warriors up 3, 4 minutes left. KD, Kevin Durant trying to beat perennial MVP candidate Anthony Davis and gets the foul and 1. Tied. Let's go 6:50 left. Tied game. KD over. Got it. And 1 minute left. The Warriors trying to get back into it. Gets the dunk by Draymond Green. 1 minute left, and New Orleans was up at that point and will continue to hold this win. 126-120 over the Golden State Warriors. Golden State floundering a little bit without Steph Curry. New Orleans is starting to become a team that everyone's talking about as being a possible dangerous team in the West. Great game, great team. Now let's go over to you.
Now we're going to move on to Philadelphia versus Cleveland. That game happened in Philly. You're going to see the action from this game. It was an important game for Philadelphia. They won 12 straight before this game. Let's see if it's going to be enough for their 13th win straight against the Cavs. They start off well with Ben Simmons with a crazy dunk there. And look at that behind the legs. Oh, my God. That's just insane by Ben Simmons, the rookie. He's just, it's incredible, Chase. This guy is just, he's got to win Rookie of the Year.
I mean, if he wasn't hurt, I'd completely agree with that.
Yeah. And in Philadelphia at this point, 67-39, just completely boat racing the Cavs. We're going to pick it up with James. He had 44 points in this game. Absolutely insane. He had a triple-double as well with 11 rebounds and 11. Oh, look at that dunk. Oh, my. This is LeBron James for you, ladies and gentlemen. 120-125. Cavs down by 5. You're going to see here, J.J. Redick. Bang. It's in. Philadelphia up by 8 with 1:34 left in the fourth. And we're going to see that at the end of the game here, the Cavs trying for a miracle shot with LeBron and fouled. He's going to have 3 free throws to tie the game with 1.9 seconds left. And Jay misses one of the threes, and he's going to miss that one as well, which is going to be a Philadelphia win, 132-130. Earlier today, Chase had a chance to talk with our resident NBA expert, Allie Snow, who broke down all you need to know about the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are still on the race for a spot in the Western Conference playoffs.
Thanks, Gabe. I'm with NBA expert Allie Snow. Allie, the Western Conference playoff race is tightening as many teams are starting to battle for their playoff spots. The Minnesota Timberwolves are clinging on to the 8th seed. What do they need to do to make the playoffs?
You know, the answer is simple, Chase, and that's Jimmy Butler. You know, he's just coming back after missing 17 games with a right knee injury, and Minnesota was definitely affected by that. You know, they lost 9 of their 17 games. So overall, I think Jimmy Butler coming back is the greatest thing that has happened to the Timberwolves in a long time. I mean, anytime you're missing a player that averages 22 points per game, you're going to be affected. And I know a lot of people have the concern, well, is this going to be the same Jimmy Butler as we've seen in the past? And I think it's going to be the same, if not better. I mean, we saw the Minnesota Timberwolves beat the Lakers on Saturday, and he put up 18 points. So I really think that Minnesota is going to benefit from this and really make a run in the playoffs. And plus, with the Laker game on Saturday, 5 of the starters scored in double digits. So I definitely think he's going to help out.
So, Allie, you're talking about Jimmy Butler. Let's take a look at what kind of asset he really is for the Timberwolves.
So Jimmy Butler is starting off. We're going to see Jamal Crawford's going to dribble down to the right-hand side in the corner. And what a good veteran player is going to do is going to look at the court. And Jimmy Butler is going to see that opening in the middle of the lane and going to utilize it with the back cut. Right there, he gets a nice little layup. And this is what Minnesota does when Jimmy Butler is playing. It creates plays, and right here we're going to see it again. Anthony Towns to Tyus Jones to Jimmy Butler. And, you know, he's really just a playmaker, and I think that Minnesota is going to capitalize off of that. I also think that they're going to improve their defense with Jimmy Butler back. You know, they're ranked 18th in the NBA right now in defense. So I definitely think that Jimmy Butler can use his speed and ability to improve their defense.
So, Allie, if everything holds serve tonight, Denver beats Portland and Minnesota beats Memphis, we're going to have a play-in game for the playoffs for the 8th seed on Wednesday night. What are your keys for Minnesota to win this game?
You know, again, like I said, Jimmy Butler needs to have an A game, and also their defense needs to step it up. Utah allows 106 points per game, so I really think that they just need to step it up defensively. I mean, it's a win-or-go-home situation at this point.
So, all right. Well, thank you, Allie. Well, we're going to send it right back up to Gabe.
Thanks, Allie and Chase. The Eastern Conference playoff spots are pretty much set, but the West still has an open race. It's not just Timberwolves and Nuggets, but there are 5 teams battling from 4 spots. Another potentially important game happens on Wednesday when the New Orleans Pelicans host the San Antonio Spurs. These teams currently sit at 5th and 6th in the West standings, respectively, but both are only 1 game ahead of the 9th-place Nuggets. Oklahoma City, who holds the 7th seed, does not play another West playoff contender in its last 2 games. It looks like the last day of the regular season could decide who stays home between these 5 teams. We'll go for a break, but when we come back, we'll send it up to the roundtable for what to look at in the NBA playoffs.
It's your first stop on campus. It's your helping hand. It's a place to study, a place to eat, and a place to plan. The NCARD office, Career Services, Student Affairs Center, a multicultural center, food, and even Greek affairs.
Wait, did you mention food?
Yes, but we have a lot of other stuff too. Come check it out at the Union.
It's our union.
This is the nation's biggest multicultural center attached to a union. their space to interact, study, and create. We're home to dozens of cultures, majors, and interests. We are home to all underrepresented students. And here, there's always room for you. Located on the east side of the UNL City Campus Union, find your home away from home. Find us at the Jackie Gunn Multicultural Center.
At the Outdoor Adventure Center, you'll find activities for everyone, from canoeing to kayaking to rock climbing. Everyone can get involved, but if you want to find them, you probably have to look up. The Outdoor Adventure Center isn't something you can really define. It's a culture built through experiences. Take a class with us. Go on a trip with us. We're open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Come move with us. Come adventure with us. You just have to.
Welcome back to Andersen Sports Live. Gabe, the NBA playoffs are starting to take form.
You're correct, Chase. Before this break, we looked at how the race is still open in the West, but now we're going to send it up to the 8th wonder of the world, also known as Brad Hilligoss, and his crew at the roundtable to break down everything you need to know and look for in the NBA playoffs. Brad, it's all you.
Thanks, Gabe. With me today are our expert NBA analysts, Claire Magsamen, Silas Brown. Guys, we're coming down to the wire here at the end of the NBA season, which means playoffs.
It's exciting.
Right around the corner. How exciting is that, right? Well, we've got a lot going on. So I want to start here in the Eastern Conference and talk about, those 8 teams are set. Which matchup has really caught your eye to get started with the playoffs? Claire, let's start with you.
Well, of course, for me, it's the Cavs and the Pacers, LeBron and Cleveland. I mean, the playoffs are just, it's completely different than the regular season NBA. It's so much more exciting. It's so much more fun. And LeBron James is so good in the playoffs. I mean, the Cavs have not been great this year. I mean, let's be real. I mean, they had to get some new players. They had to trade some players. I mean, they've had some issues, but they're such a different team in the playoffs. I'm so excited to see them this year. I mean, LeBron really does have something to prove because everyone's like, they're not going to go very far, da-da-da-da-da. I mean, it could be his last season here. So, I mean, he wants to show them that he wants to go out with a bang.
Yeah, I mean, 7 straight finals for LeBron in the Eastern Conference.
He has to keep the streak alive.
Got to keep the streak alive.
I kind of feel bad for the Pacers, though. They had to go against LeBron in the first round.
Yeah,
after having a good season, and they basically won the Oladipo trade for Paul George. I think they won that trade.
Guy turned into an all-star.
Right.
Right. That's going to be a fun series. But Silas, what about you? What are you seeing in the first round?
For me, it's the Washington Wizards going up against the Raptors if things stay the same. 1 versus 8 seed. Guys, I could see this being a matchup where the Wizards they just beat the Raptors.
I could see it.
A ball dominated. They're both ball dominated with guards. So guards is going to be a heavily factor in this series with Bradley Beal, John Wall for the Wizards, and for the Raptors you have DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry. So that's going to be an important role. But for me, it's going to be about John Wall coming back from that knee injury. Is it going to be 100%? They had people early on in the season talking about this Wizards team is great without John Wall. Are they better without him? But I hope he comes back and he puts those doubters to rest.
Yeah, so he's going to have a reason to ball out, right?
Oh, yeah.
He wants to do the John Wall.
He wants to do the John Wall. I haven't forgotten the dance. Silas does it better than me, just barely. He's teaching me a couple things. But, those are going to be 2 great series. But one team I want to keep an eye on going into the playoffs here is going to be the young Philadelphia 76ers, right? They're talented. They've got Rookie of the Year candidate Ben Simmons, former Rookie of the Year, now All-Star Joel Embiid, and a litany of lethal sharpshooters under potential Head Coach of the Year Brett Brown's control. So, is this team the real deal? Claire?
I love the Sixers, but I mean, they're just so young and inexperienced. The playoffs, like I said, are just so different that I mean, they had a 13-14 game win streak, but I just see it coming to an end. I mean, there's a lot of hype around the playoffs and stuff. I think they need to grow and mature 1 more year, and then we will see the process take off.
Silas, the process.
The process. For me, this team reminds me of one of Wiz Khalifa's old songs, Young, Wild, and Free, They have no pressure on them this year. They're the 3rd seed right now, on a 10-game winning streak. So right now, they're going to the playoffs, playing with house money, They're about 2 years above the process we kind of put the process on. So they're 2 years above that pace, and right now they're just looking, I got them taking on the Cavs in the conference finals, but who's to say they can't win that series?
Yeah, Wiz Khalifa is a Philly man himself. So let's quickly jump out to the Western Conference. It's been an arm race this season. Golden State, Houston. Which team do you think is really going to come out of the Western Conference, Claire?
Well, as you can tell, I'm sporting my red, so I'm going to go with Houston. I think it's James Harden and Chris Paul's year. It's happening. Down goes Golden State. I'm sick and tired of them.
Silas, you disagree?
I disagree. I like the Warriors. You have 4 All-Stars. You really can't defend them. Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, arguably the best 3 shooters in the game. They all play for that one team. That's ridiculous. And something the Rockets like to do. They love to screen in a row, and the Warriors do a good job of defending that. They on the matchups they take away that when they switch on the screen in a row. So for me, it's still the Warriors. When healthy, are the favorites.
That's the question, if they're healthy. They've got time before they meet up with the Rockets, but those are 2 great previews of the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. That does it for us on the first segment here at the Round Table. We're going to toss it back downstairs to Gabe and Chase at the desk.
Thank you. The 2018 playoffs for the National Hockey League is set after the regular season ended with one last game yesterday. The playoffs are being headlined in the West by President's Cup, President's Trophy winner in Nashville, with a notable team in the West being the Las Vegas Golden Knights, who are the first expansion team since 1980 to make the NHL playoffs. On the East side, the Tampa Bay Lightning headlined the 1 seed in the East. A notable team is the defending Stanley Cup winners, the Pittsburgh Penguins, being the 2 seed.
As the teams in the National Hockey League get set for the playoffs, they do that with heavy hearts. A bus carrying members of Humboldt Broncos, a junior hockey league team in Canada, was involved in an accident with a semi-trailer while en route to the town of Nepean for a playoff game on Friday night. 15 people lost their lives, including 10 players and 5 others. Our condolences go out to the people affected by this tragedy. We'll be back on Andersen Sports Live.
The historic Haymarket, a beautiful place just west of downtown Lincoln, home of the exciting Pinnacle Bank Arena and a rich history. The Haymarket's history starts shortly after Lincoln's founding, when Lincoln was a busy hub for trains filled with traders and merchants. But now, Lincoln has a new rail yard that's filled with people looking for food, drinks, or fun. The Haymarket is loaded with restaurants and fun for everyone. What are you waiting for? Go visit lincolnhaymarket.org/events to find out what's happening today.
East Campus is for students who want an education outside of the classroom. We have art, agriculture, fashion, food science, law, dentistry, and a lot of trees, all of which are housed just on the corner of 33rd and Holdridge. Grab an ice cream cone at our dairy store or take a stroll through our gardens while you're here. Want to make it legit? Visit us at casnr.unl.edu to reserve a tour soon.
A lot of high school students would ask, why should I go to UNL? Well, why did Johnny Carson of The Tonight Show fame go to UNL? Why did multi-billionaire businessman Warren Buffett go to UNL? Why did people of such great fame and success go to UNL? Simple, because these are people that wanted to be successful. At the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, you too can begin your own success story. After all, if people like this can achieve national recognition and who came from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, then so can you.
Welcome back to Andersen Sports Live. For our last segment in today's show, we'll take a look at some baseball action we had this weekend. Is that right, Chase?
Oh, yeah. Gabe, the Major League Baseball season is fully underway. There have been many stories in the 10 days we've had baseball. The biggest story of them all has been Shohei Ohtani. The 23-year-old Japan native has taken the league by storm in his rookie season after being considered one of the best Japanese players to ever move over to the major leagues. Ohtani has lived up to the hype so far with 2 wins and a 2.08 ERA in his first 2 starts on the mound, including taking a no-hitter into the 6th inning of yesterday's game. At the plate, however, Ohtani is batting .389 with 3 home runs so far in this short season. This comes as no surprise to anyone, as he left the Nippon Professional Baseball League in Japan with a 2.52 earned run average and 286 batting average. To talk about all things Major League Baseball, we're going to send it up to Brad, Silas, and Claire at the round table.
All right, and we back. Silas, Claire, a little chance for you. Actually, what we're going to be focusing on this segment, right? I know. What we're going to be focusing on this segment is the MLB. We want to take a look at some of the teams that we're seeing, how they're performing at the start of this 2018 campaign. An exciting series for any baseball fan out there. Yankees, Red Sox, two storied programs, two of the best to ever do it in baseball. They square off tomorrow night in Fenway. Since we're heading to Boston for the series, let's start in Boston with you, Silas. What are you seeing up at the Red Sox camp?
Well, first, I'm taking the Red Sox to win the AL East. As we look into this graphic that's going to be shown, they started 8-1. Last year, they finished 93-69, and their starting pitchers, they're just with a 1.70 ERA. Chris Sale carrying them. He's basically the ace of their staff. But with the Yankees lineup, they just have too much strikeout ability in their lineup. In the postseason, you have pitchers out there are trying to strike guys out. And when you have a pitcher trying to strike guys out, you have, the contact's not going to be there. So I'm liking the Red Sox with Mookie Betts, Jackie Bradley Jr. They have a high on-base percentage. They know how to get on base. They can make contact. They're fast in the outfield. So I like the Red Sox, winning the AL East this year.
Oh.
Bullpen depth may be a question mark for the Red Sox down the line, but right now their starting staff just killing it. As you said, that 1.7 ERA. I think they have the defense as well to really tout. I think maybe some question marks around their batting, but we'll see. They got players like Mookie who can really step up later in the season. But Claire, what about the New York Yankees?
I mean, the Yankees have not started off great, as you can see in the graphic. I mean, they're 5-5. Their final record last year was 91-71, but they made the AL championship last year. So, I mean, there's hope, is what I'm saying. I mean, they lost to the Nationals. Their catcher, Gary Sanchez, will be back after missing 2 games. So, I mean, that's good. What they really need is Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge both. They need to get hot and hit some home runs. Stanton has only had 3 home runs and 7 RBIs during the first 10 games. I mean, he did come out and say it was a bad week. Obviously, players have bad weeks. And I think the perfect time to now get hot is versus the good old rivalry in Boston. I mean, they're going to be out for blood, obviously. I mean, it's an important game. It's within their own division, so they need the win. I mean, their bullpen looks amazing. So they just need to actually start swinging and hitting home runs.
And Stanton's first 2 homers came in the first game of the season, too, by the way.
Exactly.
So he's cooled off a little bit, right? He needs to find that former MVP self he had last year.
Exactly.
Looking at the top half of that batting order for the Yankees is ridiculous. Brett Gardner.
There's no out, basically. There's no out.
There's no out, right? You're pitching to get to that bottom half and hopefully end the inning, but you got a lot of power. Judge, Stanton, Sanchez, Gregarious, a lot of those guys. So I think you were right saying there's strikeout ability in that order, but there's a lot of power.
Yes.
Former Yankee, now GM, Aaron Boone has a dream situation in New York.
It's a hit or miss lineup, basically. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. So let's hop over to the NL, however, where we're seeing the Dodgers have that same kind of start that maybe the Yankees are having. Silas, what are you seeing out in LA?
Well, the Dodgers are off to a 3-6 start. As you take a look at the graphic again, they finished the record 1-4 and 58 last year, and Clayton Kershaw, he's been the man again this year. But they have young talented hitters that are off to a slow start in Corey Seager, Cody Bellinger. I expect them to get going, but like always, they're prompted by their starting pitcher, Clayton Kershaw. He's always consistent. This year he's had 1.70 ERA, and now their bullpen is still in the tops in the game, as they proved last year when they beat the Cubs in the NLCS. The bullpen just took over last year. So the Dodgers, I expect, to be good this year.
Yes. Well, the Dodgers have a lot of time. What about the Mets starting off hot, Claire?
I'm just really surprised because usually the Mets aren't very good. But, I mean, as you can see in the graphic, this is the best start they've had since 1977. So, I mean, their pitching has been outstanding. Their bullpen has been outstanding. I mean, I'm just surprised, but I can see them going pretty far.
A lot of storylines to start the season. We'll keep an eye on these 4 teams and many others as we go forward with this segment here at the Round Table. That does it for us this time. We're going to send it back downstairs. Chase, Gabe, take it away, guys.
That's all we have for today on Andersen Sports Live. We'll see you next week. I'm Gabriel Vegas.
And I'm Chase Thompson. Thanks for watching.